welcome back to my channel. It's me, Des, back with another video for you today. I am doing Come Wrap With Me, so if I look familiar, yes, it is me again on the same day recording. I wanted to get some of it done because I'm sitting here and I'm like, if I do not get this done, I can't do the Christmas cake. And I have to get the Christmas cake done this year because I did promise my mum. So tomorrow I'm dedicating as much of my day as possible to getting that baked and possibly iced, but I'm not sure. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your stay. A like and a subscribe goes an awful long way. And if you are one of my regulars, much love to y'all because you're going to need it with me. Okay, so let's get into the wrapping because I need to get that done. And we're also going to have a story time. So my tools, what I'm using is these and some tape, which I'm likely to get very annoyed with. So let me start. Now the table's going to rock left, right, centre, everything, because I'm just, I don't really think ahead sometimes. And I didn't think that, oh Dust, maybe you should purchase another table. You know, one that's not going to rock. So you can do what you're doing and it's not going to be rocking backwards and forth. But you know what? When it comes down to it, I don't think about it until that moment. I know, right? I know. Anyways, we are going to have a little story time. Now, there is some backstory to this story time. And I will probably include some screenshots because I can't remember what date the message was actually sent. I don't remember. My head's like a goldfish. I do have literally a brain of goldfish. I remember nothing. Nothing at all. So in 2019, I actively wanted to start looking for a relationship. And it was something that's too small. You didn't measure it, did you, Dust? It was something that I really wanted at the time. And I thought, you know what? This year is going to be my year. I'm going to find someone to settle down with and be happy with, you know, as you do. Because that's what a lot of people want. I'm not saying everybody wants that because they don't. But in 2019, I kind of craved being with someone. I wanted that best friend, that person that I could come home to and just be happy with. Been on there like what, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a bit longer, I don't know. I can't remember entirely how long I'd been on there before I got a match with this certain guy. And he was literally everything I look for. Well, not everything I look for, because like I don't have a specific type, but if I was looking for a Greek god, this man would have been everything. He would have been great. And at first, I didn't actually think this guy was going to be real. I assumed that he was going to be one of those people that, you know, got pictures off of Instagram and, you know, was a scammer of some kind. That's what I initially thought was going to happen. I didn't expect it to be the actual guy. So I was like, oh, okay. But anyways, I'm skipping ahead. So we start messaging really politely. He's like, hey, how are you? Didn't think we were going to match. You know, I'd been matched with you for a couple of weeks. Had I have seen at the time that he was matched with me for a couple of weeks, I would have sped that ahead. Sped that ahead? Is that the right word? I would have sped things up a bit, you know, and probably matched with him sooner. But because you don't get to see, it was a bit like, oh, well, I'm glad that we finally matched and I played the little match game thing. You swipe, it's like a swipey thing. Swipe system, as I like to call it. Anyways, so we get talking. We seem to have quite a bit in common. We've both got children that have autism. And it just, I don't know, it kind of felt like really natural. So I kind of felt like we had so much in common. It was kind of meant to be. We spoke every single day, but I had to find out, like, if he was the real person or not. But I wasn't the one that initiated a video call. He did. He was like, oh, do you mind if I video call you, babe? And I'm like, yeah, no, sure. That's great. That's fine. I don't have to ask for that. You've asked for that. That's fine. So he video calls me. We're chatting on the phone. And obviously we're sort of checking each other out as you do. And he was like, I'm really surprised that you're actually the person from the pictures. And I'm like, yeah, same, you know, like. So it went a little bit like that. Our first conversation just flew really, really brilliantly. And I didn't think much to him being in his car either, because he was like, oh, you know, I live with my dad at the minute. You know, things have been a bit tough. My ex broke up with me very suddenly. And it was kind of like, you know, I had nowhere to go. And he was saying that his mum lived kind of close to where I was. Not like super close, but kind of close. So, but close enough so if he went to visit her, it would be easy for him to come see me too. I know, Moo, I know. I've not got to the sad part yet. Anyways, he's having a ball out there with some wrapping paper. I know. Go tell the wrapping paper about it. Where was I? So, yeah. His mum lived relatively close to where I am. And he was all like, oh, so if I went to visit my mum, I'd be able to come visit you too. And, you know, that'd work out really cool. And I was like, yeah, it would, wouldn't it? That'd work out well. And we chatted for ages and ages and ages. Like, it was like we could talk for hours on end and just not get bored. It was like endless stuff. And I thought, this guy might just be the one, you know, he might be the guy that I need. Anyways, it was, I want to say a couple of weeks afterwards, and we were talking about like possibly meeting up. And we'd been speaking every single day, consecutively every single day, for hours on end. He would ring me while he was at work. And he'd be talking to me, like, while he was, like, driving around. He'd have me on speaker in his van and stuff. And then we'd literally talk all day. And then when he got home, we'd talk again. And, you know, it got to the point, at one point, where I'd added him on my Xbox. And he had an Xbox as well. And our sons, my youngest son and his son, added each other on the Xbox. So, yeah, they were playing together on games, and me and him were playing World War Z and stuff. And it was just, like, such a great dynamic. Anyway, I got relatively quite close to him over the months, but after a couple of weeks, he was like, oh, you know, we should probably meet up. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same, but I didn't want to sort of, like, push anything too quickly. And he was like, no, I've been thinking it for, like, for about a week or so now. And I was like, oh, okay, he's very keen to meet up. And I thought, nice, okay, this is great. I love this. You know, I've never had anyone that's been so much in tune with me and at the same time just wanted to meet up as fast as I would like to meet up. So it got to the point where we were sort of arranging like a meet-up, and he was like, look, I'm going to try and get some time off work and come down your way, probably go see my mum, and then on the way back from seeing her, pop by and see you. Anyways, I was down for that. Now, at the time, the C word was on the rise. We all know what I mean by the C world. C world. The C word. We all know what I mean by that, right? It was like rife. Everybody was getting poorly. We were then having to start wearing masks, and then the isolation came through, like where you had to isolate and stay indoors and then go to work, but don't go to work unless you have to go to work from home, you know, that kind of thing. So that was all very sort of sudden. And well, I say it was very sudden, it wasn't sudden, but for me it kind of was, because I wanted to meet up with this guy and I was not happy, but I decided I was going to be good and I was going to follow the rules, because that's what you do, right? This is so bad because the cushion is bigger than the wrapping paper. I'm going to have to like wrap it another way as well. So it kind of spoiled our plans to meet up. He did suggest possibly coming down and then hiding his motorbike, because he had a motorbike, under my stairs. Like, because I live in a apartment block. So he was like, I could probably put it in there. And I was like, look, I don't want to... Let's call him Jack. Let's call him Jack. His name's not Jack, but let's call him Jack. I was like, look, Jack, I don't want to be like... I don't want to get in trouble with the police or anything, because literally whenever I took my bin bags down during that time, I felt like I was going to be arrested. The first time I had to, funny story, digressing just slightly, the first time I had to take my bin bags down like that, I was in a dressing gown, I had my hood up, I was walking to the bins, and then the police rolled round the corner, and I was like, I don't know whether to drop the bin bags and put my hands up or just run. And they were like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm putting rubbish in the Euro carts. Well, you best hurry up then and get back inside. I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, it actually scared me a little bit, because I was like, oh my God, they're telling me to hurry up. Like, you know, I was wearing gloves and everything and a mask. I was ready. I was ready for that encounter with the police. Anyways, I had explained that had happened to him, and he was like, yeah, I get that you probably just don't want to meet up because you don't want to get in trouble and stuff, and he was very understanding about it. I hate it when that happens. So we just carried on talking, carried on playing World War Z, you know, doing the same thing as normal. Day in, day out, talking. And it's like we never ran out of things to say to each other, which I really loved, because I've never really had that with someone where, you know, you can just talk and not get bored of like something that they're telling you or something that they're saying to you. And like, it was nice because the kids actually got involved as well. And like, when he'd be on the phone, he'd be like, are you being good for your mum and all this and all that. And they only knew him as Mum's friend. I never introduced him as anything other than my friend. Or they called him Jack. But yeah, it was nice. It was a great dynamic. And like, when I spoke to his son sometimes, like he'd be, like his son would be in the background. And he'd be like, oh, say hi to Des, you know. And he'd say hello, and... It was just really, really good. Anyways, he had quite a few friends, and he'd go to the gym quite a lot with one of his friends. I don't know, we'll call him Charlie, right? So he'd go to the gym with this friend called Charlie, and I wasn't sure about Charlie. You know, there was something about him that just didn't seem quite legit to me. Like, he was getting him into like steroids and stuff, and I didn't know this for a while. Like, so he basically said to me one day, do you know what, I've been thinking about, you know, possibly trying to bulk up a bit. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, like, that's cool. And I was like, how are you going to go about it? And he said, oh well, Charlie's this, Charlie's that, and Charlie, you know, he's quite bulky, and he's got some steroids. And I was like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. Like, somebody says that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, don't give that a hard miss. But they're their own person, and you can only influence someone so far. And for me, it was kind of like, look, I can tell him not to, but if he doesn't listen, there's nothing I can do. I can't say to him, oh, well, you know, if you do that, I'll never speak to you again. Because that's like giving someone an ultimatum. And, you know, I'm not that type of person. I'm not built that way, okay? I'm a bit of a people pleaser sometimes. I try really hard to please a lot of people. And then I feel awful if I don't. So he started taking these steroids, and as far as I know, that's the only thing he was doing. It didn't change his personality at all. He seemed quite chipper all the time. it didn't affect how we spoke. He wasn't short-tempered or anything like that, which was really good. But it was kind of like he spent an awful lot of time with Charlie. And I said to him, I was like, you know, have you been taking more? And he's like, well, you know, we've upped the dose a little bit. And I was like, it's just, you're spending an awful lot of time with him, you know. And I wasn't saying it to be like, oh, well, you're not spending as much time with me. I was saying it because I was genuinely concerned that, you know, with him having prior heart conditions as well, I was worried because steroids can affect your heart. And I just, you know, like, it worried me a little bit. Like, even though we weren't an item or anything officially, it did worry me a tad, because I was like, I really like this guy and I don't want anything bad to happen to him. So it got to summer and he was still doing all his weights and stuff, and I think he'd cut back a bit on the steroids. Him and Charlie didn't hang out as much. It's like it was a fleeting thing. So they hung out for about 4 or 5 months, quite a bit. And then all of a sudden it wasn't so much towards the summer. He wasn't going to Charlie's and stuff like that. So we spoke more in the daytime and the evening and stuff. And, you know, like, he'd ring me for a couple of hours and we'd play World War Z and that. And I absolutely loved that time because it was awesome. Like, it was my time to sit and play and have a laugh and a joke, and it was just so good. But anyways, I noticed, I want to say midsummer, he was a little bit sort of distant, but nothing that would make me worry. You know, I wasn't like, oh, you know, he doesn't like me anymore or this or that. Obviously got other stuff on, you know, he's got other friends that he's going to hang out with and stuff. And I get it, it's summer. Everybody wants to be out in the summer, right? I was going out more, you know, it wasn't like we were chatting it all the time, but we were still talking every day. It just wasn't for as long. But when he was at work, it was like nothing had changed, nothing at all. He would ring me all the time he was at work, but it sort of stopped like in the evenings. And Marley, no! It sort of stopped in the evenings, and I was like, oh, well, you don't ring me as much now in the evenings. Like, you know, has something changed? No, babe, everything's fine. Just, you know, I'm going out a bit more with my friends. I've had a few parties that I've been to, this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, you know. And I'm a very understanding person. If you explain something to me, I'm cool with it. You know, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's not a problem, you know. But it was kind of like, now, you know how, I don't know if any of yous have ever felt like you've been put on the back burner. Well, that's kind of how I felt after months of us talking every day constantly, to dwindling it down to like, well, I'll talk to you while I'm at work for a couple of hours. Then I'll go off, do this, and this, which I totally got because, you know, like, people need their cars sorting. And he's like a mechanic. I don't know if he still does that for a living, but he was a mechanic at the time. So he had a female best friend, and I didn't think nothing of it because I've got a best friend that's a guy, and nothing's happened between me and him, but apparently something had happened between them two once. And he said, oh, it never happened again. And he was like, sometimes he would sleep over at hers. Like, if he was out late or something, he would be like, yeah, because apparently they worked together as well. And I'm stupid enough to fall for that because I'm just like, I really like this guy. Anyway, I'm literally so stupid at this point, and I'm not even seeing it until like I look back at it. And he'd slept over at this girl's house that's his best mate and whatnot, and you know, he rang me briefly, and I heard her in the background, and apparently she's got a girlfriend. Okay, so I was just like, oh, okay. okay, fair enough, she's got a girlfriend, that's fine, you know. Doesn't mean that she's not still into guys, right? But my brain goes, oh no, she's got a girlfriend, it's fine, I ain't got to worry about nothing. Hello? He's not going to do it now, but he's going, oh wow, wow. You might hear him on camera. So I didn't think nothing to it, really. I just kind of pussyfooted my way around everything with him. And I now realise that I should have questioned it a bit more, or I shouldn't have got so close. I should have been a bit more like, yeah, that's not right. Like, but I try to be one of these people that doesn't judge, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's okay for guys to have female friends, and it's all right for females to have guy friends, because I have, like I said, a friend that I've been really close with for years, and nothing's ever happened there. Like, we are literally just friends. And me being me didn't think that maybe he's seeing her or someone that she knows. And it's just like, so it got to the Christmas and there was some other excuses to why I come down. And I was, at this point, I was really gutted. But still, me being gullible as anything, I fell for whatever he said to me, and I can't remember what excuse it was. I have no clue. But he said something. I don't know whether it, like, his dad was ill, or, you know, Littlin was ill and that's why he didn't go. I can't remember. I think somebody was ill from what he said, but he couldn't go. I was gutted, but I said, that's fair enough. I can understand, you know. It's understandable. So we're still talking normal. There's no change in how we talk. You know, we started talking again in the evenings and stuff, and it went back to pretty much how it used to be before the summer. And didn't really think much of it. Anyways, it was not long after Christmas. I want to say it was probably February, maybe. I could have that wrong, but I think it was February. We had been talking all day. Nothing had changed. We were talking more than ever, in fact. And he'd said, oh, you know, it's nearly time for me to go home. I'll give you a call when I get back. And then he was like, oh, do you know what? I'm probably going to work on the car for a bit. And I was like, oh, nice, okay. One step closer to him come and see me. Anyways, he goes, I think it must have been late in the evening when he messaged. I want to say 7 or 8, something like that. And he was like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, yeah, all good. And I thought something was weird because he didn't say babe. And normally he would refer to me as babe. And I was like, yeah, all good. How are you? And he's like, oh, this frigging car's stressing me out. So I turned around and said to him, I was like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, if I was there, I'd try and help you some way. Like, even if it's just to make you laugh. Do you know what he said? Wait for it. He goes, it's okay. My girlfriend does everything for me. Now, I'm sat there and I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, he's having me on. Surely he's having me on. Like, he's having a joke. And I was like, what? And I used a profanity. I went, what the f are you talking about? And he went, you heard? It's okay. My girlfriend does everything for me. This is over a text message, right? This is not speech, right? So I went, oh, are you serious? Yeah. I said, how long has this been going on? Because we've been talking like normal. We were talking about when we've met up and if everything goes well, we'll take the kids on holiday, you know, and all this and all that. And you've got a girlfriend. I was like, how long's this been going on? 6 months. 6 months. I was literally heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was so upset. Like, I just burst into tears. I blocked him straight away because I was like, no way. I don't even want to hear what you're going to say to me next. So I blocked him and I rang my friend who knew all about this. And, well, not about that, but she knew all about him and she knew, like, how much we spoke and stuff. And, she was like, are you okay? Like, I was sobbing down the phone to her. What's happened? And I was like, Jack. And she went, what? I was like, he's only got a girlfriend and he's had a girlfriend for 6 months. And she went ballistic. She was like, are you joking? She was like, what's his Instagram? I'm going to message him. And I was like, no, don't. I have blocked him. That's it. I am having nothing more to do with him. And I didn't. I left it there. Once I'm done with someone, that is it. Once you cross me like that and you've upset me and you've made me feel... Do you know what? It took me a good couple of months to get over that, because I was like, I can't believe that someone I spent nearly 2 years, it probably was 2 years, like, speaking to and getting to know inside and out, like being friendly and stuff. And I should have seen the flags. I should have seen the fact that he wouldn't come see me. I offered to go see him. He was like, oh, no, babe, it'd be cheaper for me to come see you, blah, 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 blah. Don't you waste your money. You know, this, that, and the other. I should have seen the flags, but I didn't. I didn't see the flags. And I know I should have done. But my mind was just like, oh my God, this guy is everything. I really want to be with this person. And I can't tell you how much it hurt for him to say to me, oh, well, I've got a girlfriend and I've had one for 6 months. After everything was so normal that day. And I was just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe you've actually turned around and said that. But yeah, so a couple of years have gone by, all right? Well, probably not a couple of years. I'll say about a year and a bit has gone by. And just, I don't really, like, sometimes I think about him. I have spoken about him before, like in with different people in a conversation, and, you know, like, they've had something happen to them and I'm like, it sounds a bit suspect to me, you know, and I've brought that up. But I've never really, I don't know, I've never really brought it up and put it out there. So this is a first for me. I've never put it out there. And, you know, like, if you guys have had similar experience, I feel for you, because it's horrible. You know, it's like your whole world goes boom. You know, like, everything's going great. The whole world's spinning around you. You know, you're focused on that, and then boom, the world stops. And it's heartbreaking, especially if you put that much effort into someone and you're that attracted to them, and you're just like, oh my God, this is like my best friend. This is my soulmate. This is my soulmate. And it's horrible, because you just, everything you've got in common with that person, you know, and it goes to crap. It literally goes to crap. So anyways, let's fast forward to a year and a bit later. Sat on my phone and I'm editing a video for YouTube, funnily enough, at the time, and gets this message on Facebook, and I was like, I don't really use Facebook, you know, so I thought, oh well, must be someone trying to get hold of me for some reason. So I goes on there, and it's like, I see his name pop up, and I'm just sort of, I pause, and I'm like, what? No way. So I go on to the message. It's definitely him. And he was like, I know you probably don't want to talk to me, but something along the line, I'll put the screenshots up anyway. I just wanted to know that you and the boys were okay. And to be quite honest, I don't think I did want to reply, but I did reply because his son did nothing to me. And it took me a long while to reply. You'll probably see if the timestamps are up there. It took me a while to reply, to be quite honest. Like, a good few hours, because I kept debating in my head, do I want to reply? Do I want to know what happened? Do I not want to know what happened? I gave in the end, and I was like, yeah, all good. Hope little one's okay. I'm not going to say his name. And he replied relatively quickly, and he was like, oh, glad you're good. Me and blah blah, it's been a bit rough. And I thought, what's the betting that he split up with his missus? And now he wants to talk to me again because I was second best. So I went, okay, fair enough. And I left it at that. And I have not sent him a message. He's seen it. He's not sent me anything back. And I have not sent him anything back. I'm worth more than a message when you've broke up with your missus. And that's how I've looked at it. Because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Why would he message me if he was still in a relationship? I don't understand that. So that's what I'm going to put that down to. I think that's why he's messaged me. And I refuse point blank to be your sugar-coated rebound. I was not good enough for you when we were talking for pretty much 2 years. So now you're not good enough for me because you treat me the way that you did. And I couldn't believe it. Like, the audacity of this guy. Like, I don't even think it's because he feels guilty, right? I honestly feel like it's because he split up with the person that he got with and that he'd been with for 6 months. And now he wants to talk to me. It's not going to happen, mate. Not in a million years. I am a grown woman. I am an independent woman. And there's no way that I am going to give in and speak to you. Do you know what? Half of me kind of wanted to know what I did wrong for him to do that. And then the other half of me was like, no, because you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do a thing wrong. It was him. He was a player. And that's what he did. He went on and on and on in these phone calls about his exes and how she just got up one day and left him. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked, because maybe you were doing the same thing to her as what you did to me. Maybe that's what you were doing. Or maybe she got bored of your crap. Just saying. It's all the stuff that I should have said to him. But I didn't. And I'm glad in a way that I didn't, because I'm not a horrible person, but I don't know. I feel like horrible people don't get the karma that they deserve, and good people get the worst karma. And I've said that for a long time, but it's just kind of like, why message me after all this time? And it does intrigue me, don't get me wrong, it intrigues me a lot, because I'm like, I wonder what he was going to tell me, or if he wanted to tell me anything. I don't know. People like that, I can't with. Because I feel like if I open the door to him and let him back in, that's it. I've opened that door. I've let him come back in, trample all over me again, and that's that. I can't do that. I have to think about my children. Like, as much as I would love to talk to him and find out why he did what he did, and, you know, maybe just be friends, right? I'm not going to do that, because not only did he hurt me, but he also hurt the kids in a way, because, you know, they said to me, oh, where's Jack? We haven't heard from Jack for a while. You know, and I was like, oh, well, he doesn't really speak to me anymore, mate. You know, like, see, that's something that I can't forgive. Like, I can forgive you trampling all over my heart, but doing that to the kids, you know, after you'd sat there and spoke to him for months on end, you know, like, oh, I hope you're being a good boy for your mum, mate, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, and then having your child play on the Xbox with my child, and then as soon as we stop talking, they're not allowed to play together. It just infuriated me, because I wouldn't have been like that. I would have been like, of course you can still play. You know, like, just because me and his dad don't talk now, of course you can still play. It's just me as an adult, right? I'm not going to be like, no, you can't play with him now. That would just be petty on my part. So I'm back. I had something to eat and decided I'd come back and finish the rest of the wrapping because I need to. I just started wrapping up again before I pressed live. Before I pressed record. My God, I'm sorry. I've been watching while I was eating. Now, I don't know if you guys are into the whole girl world thing, or girl world, whatever you say, or however you say it. Now, I started off in girl world watching Foodie Beauty, and I come to really dislike her very quickly, and I stopped watching her channel. And then I would then watch through reaction channels because I came across Charlie Gold. Now, I liked Charlie Gold. I thought she was all cool. She was okay. But I kind of got to the point where I was like, no, I want to try and watch her through someone else, because I'm not vibing with Charlie anymore. So I started watching her through French Fried Girl. Now, I like French Fried Girl. I do. But I don't watch her as much now. I tend to watch Chantel through Unicorn Pondu. So I'm like, there's all these different channels where I would watch it, and then, but it's just short and sweet with that channel. It's to the point, showing us what's happened, what their take on it is, and boom, done. It's not like a live stream that lasts 2 and 3 hours of them giving an opinion, reading the super chats and stuff like that. And that's great if that's what you're into, but I kind of like the short and sweet thing sometimes. I mean, if it's something really big, I'll watch French Fried Girl, because I kind of enjoy her take on things. But at the same time, a lot of the time, I just want short and sweet. So I tend to stick with the channels that are very short and sweet now. But yeah, getting to the point of what my point was I've recently been watching something called Lol Cow Live. Now, that came about because Chantal was on this this Lol Cow Live on YouTube, and literally this woman called Tina ripped her a new butthole. And I thought it was brilliant. I am looking forward to watching a few things. So I ordered Smile 2, and I've tried to watch it twice, right? So I ordered it, what day was it? Not yesterday, but the day before. Well, technically it was yesterday, because it was the early hours of the morning. And I tried to watch it, and I fell asleep within the first 10 minutes. Not because the movie was boring, but because I was actually shattered. And then I tried to watch it again last night, and evidently fell asleep again. And if I'm not mistaken, it was around the same place in the movie. So tonight, I have plans with myself, after I've done all the wrapping, to sit and watch it. Because if I don't, there's no point in me having it. I'm actually very excited to watch it, because I really liked the first one. I don't know how you guys felt about Smile, but I really liked it. It was really creepy. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Some people don't like it. I have noticed, like, some people are like, yeah, no, that's not for me. I found it boring, blah, 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 blah. But I actually really enjoyed the movie. And I think that the woman, I think it was Kevin Bacon's daughter that was in it. She's a very good actress. I like her. I did enjoy her in that. I don't think she's in the second one, obviously. But I know that somebody is in the second one that was in the first one, without giving anything away, of course. But yeah, like, I'm looking forward to watching it because I'd like to see exactly what happens in the second one. And also, I would like to watch the new Demi Moore movie? The Substance or something. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll have to recheck that later because I would like to watch that. And then there's a new Hugh Grant movie out, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the name is called, but it begins with a H. Heteric or something? I think that's what it is. Heteric or heteric, or I don't know. I don't know, but I want to watch that too, but I refuse to pay £20 for it. I'll wait until it goes down in price. I'm being a cheapskate. It's Christmas. They should give us stuff really cheap or free, I believe. And if not, I'm going to call corporate. I'm joking. But yeah, no, I would really like to watch that at some point over the Christmas period, but it won't go down in price that quickly, so I'm going to have to wait. There we go. That is the last gift that I had to wrap, and I am super proud of myself. Oh, God damn it. Jesus! It's okay. It's fine. We'll sort that out. It's fine. Don't rage. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me blabber on. I will be back, but this might just be the last one before Christmas Day, unless I decide to come and do my cake with y'all and show you how I do my cake, because I don't think I've done that yet, but we'll see. Like, because it's a long-winded process, and this is a long-winded process. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.